Well, hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about what to say on a TikTok live and not how to go on a TikTok live. And the reason for that is because when you, every social media platform sometimes changes by the day. So what if I tell you how to go live on TikTok today might be different by tomorrow. So every the landscape of social media, especially TikTok, is ever evolving. So if you want to learn how to go on TikTok for going live, then all you have to do is go on TikTok and search the latest 90 days to 6 months at max so that you can know exactly what is relevant today. Because, for instance, some of the things that we were allowed to say before, we're not allowed to say today. So this is all about what to say when you're promoting this membership. And remember, when I talk about this membership, I'm not going to be talking about Legal Shield. I'm not going to be promoting Legal Shield. I'm promoting Maria Lupita. Hilda's going to be promoting Hilda. Cooper's going to be promoting Cooper. So whoever you are, you're promoting your person. You are the brand. You are what people are watching you. So there's lots of people that are doing how to go on TikTok live according to what's relevant and current. So this is, believe it or not, I am a closet. Did anybody know that I am a serious closet introvert? So make sure, let's make sure that everybody go ahead and drop into the chat to make sure that you are in school, because this is where we're going to be communicating tonight. That way, whatever questions you have, I can grab you after the live or during the live, because if you put them on the chat on the Zoom, it has a whole different thing and it doesn't stay the same. So this one will be able to help each other throughout the live. So make sure that you are using, you can go through your phone and then you can use your computer, but however you do it, just make sure that you are dropping your questions here. And this is being done because Hilda is a pro when it comes to going live on TikTok. But whenever you're doing something new, it's hard to know what to say when you're new, even though you're a pro. So like I said, believe it or not, I'm a serious closet introvert. I don't like talking to people. I don't like having to go to people. I don't like, the reason I got into this was because I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to go meeting people. I didn't have to go drive anywhere. So now I get to just be in the comfort of my house, and not even, especially with the prices of gas, it nearly doubled right now. So I can park my car and not drive anywhere for an entire 2 weeks. And I could probably get away with it for an entire 30 days, but because I live by myself, then I push myself to get out. And then this is about promoting a done for you digital membership. And that's what's really important, that you're promoting a digital membership. And throughout your life, if you happen to be shy like I am, if you happen to be an introvert, you have to tell people that you are shy. Thank you, Hilda. If all of you could take a picture of this, that would be great. That way we can have it for later. So if you tell people during your live that you are going live because you are an introvert, because you are shy, that's going to help you, because everybody's saying, I can't do what Hilda does. I can't do what Cooper does. I can't do what Mel does. And everybody's going to find 1,000 excuses as to why they're not going live. So what are we doing today? I'm going to be showing you exactly what to say during a live to promote this membership. And remember, we don't say Legal Shield unless somebody says, well, what is it? And they start pressuring, then we tell them it is Legal Shield. But we don't focus on Legal Shield. We focus on this membership, because that is what we're promoting. If Legal Shield disappeared tomorrow, then there would be another membership that we would offer. So we are offering ourselves. This workshop is going to be about 3 hours from 6 o'clock when we started. And then every hour on the hour, I will open up for Q&A. So make sure that you drop your questions in the community. So if you didn't get there, make sure that you go over there so that I can admit you into that community. Keep yourself muted and please be on camera, because your energy feeds me. Plus, if we're going to do TikTok live, you have to show your face. So it makes a big difference whether you are on camera or not. So why am I going to take 3 hours, you might be thinking, to explain to you? This has taken me literally years. So for me to give you everything that I've learned in the years that I've been on social media, 3 hours is the least amount for me to do a good job of showing you everything that I've learned in the number of years that I've been doing this. So as we begin, why do you want to not go here, not go to something that is outdated? If you're looking at anything that is longer than 6 months ago, you're not going to be relevant. You might be saying things or doing things that are no longer relevant. You may be doing something that has too much fluff, too much fancy equipment, and all you need to go TikTok live is yourself, your phone, and Wi-Fi. And then no noise on the background. um, and then you have to make sure that you read the community guidelines, because like the word gay, if you literally say the word gay or retarded, you will be banned immediately. There's words that if you say, like if you say link, well, believe it or not, TikTok could actually immediately, you're like, what happened? And you're gone. We call it banana. So you can't say that you've gone banana, or that you can't say that you've been banned. You have to say banana. So we have all these code words in the TikTok community. So you have to create community. And then when you're going live, you have to be sure that you know what your intention and your purpose is. So the purpose of going live is not to get clients right there. It's not to convince people. It's to get people from TikTok to your email list, and from your email list to a video. We don't convince and we don't sell. We just share the information. And when I tell you this, I seriously mean it, because a lot of you came from my TikTok lives. A lot of you, we were strangers on the internet, and you found me because it's curiosity, right? I was telling someone else that is in the banking industry, Lorna. I think it was your person, right? Was it Derek? Yeah. So I told, it's interest-based marketing, and he says,
Yes.
how much interest? And I was like, what do you mean how much interest? Like as much as people want, as much interest as people have. So I didn't understand that when you're in the banking industry, you think interest rates. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm relabeling it, curiosity. You want people to be curious about whatever you're offering. It's very similar to dating, right? Or it's very similar to you parenting a child or a grandchild. You want them to be curious to do what you want them to do. You want them to be curious so that you take them in the road that you want to take them. And then don't get in the weeds. This is not about doing what the job of our videos do. This is, look into me, you see, and then if you like what you see in me, then let's go outside of this platform, and then I will show you more. I will give you the details, and you have to be confident, and the only way you're going to be confident is by doing the reps. Cooper here is a professional soccer player. Well, I bet you when he was 5 years old or 3 years old, or whenever he started playing soccer, he didn't know all this stuff. And the more reps that he does, the better that he gets. So it's the same thing on TikTok. So don't get in the weeds trying to explain everything. You're going to get nervous when people say, well, what is it? Is it one of those things? Oh my gosh, you're a scammer. They're going to say all sorts of things. Let them, and then block them. You be fast to block, fast to block, fast to block. If somebody gets on and they're from another country that we don't serve, you block them, because it serves no purpose for them to be on your live, because everybody that gets on your live is going to tell the algorithm that's where they need to send more people to. So remember, it's curiosity marketing, is magnetic marketing. So whatever you attract is going to attract more of. So if there's any questions that you have, go ahead and drop them in the chat over in school. Everything that you do has to be for the purpose of building your email list, plus know, like, and trust factor. Plus, it's the fastest way of growing your social media, growing your account, and the fastest way to get clients. Every single time, if I want to go get more clients, if I want to make more money, and if I want to go faster, all I do, I was stuck at 17, I think I was stuck at 14,000, or I forget, 14,000 followers. Now I'm at 21, almost 21,000, because I started going live, but you have to go regularly. Now there's been a lot of questions. What do I say during the lives? We're going to get that at the end of the deck as to what we're going to do and what we're not going to go about the live. So the deck is going to tell you what to say and what not to say. This one is going to tell you about what to say, about what you're saying, and how to do the things that we do during a live. You have to say things like this to break the ice. For me, my childhood punishment has become my adult goals. going to bed early, not leaving my house, not going to a party. That's what I love doing. And then believe it or not, the more that you practice, the more that you prepare, the more confidence that you get. Confidence doesn't just happen. If you see some of my lives, I would be like, hi, you guys. I am Maria Lupita. Yes, I am Maria Lupita. I am your coach. Hi. Hi, y'all. Hi. Right. And the more that I learn, the more that I practice. Now your intention and your intention is going to go ahead.
I used to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all of us, if we were not on TikTok, we're so used to doing so much wasted time. Like I can't go to other people, other places that they're just giving me like busy work. I'm like, oh, I can't stand that. So you have to have an intention as to what you want the outcome to be. The outcome is for you to get that email and over to outside of TikTok, but to build the relationship, to grow your account, and to build know, like, and trust factor so that they feel that they know Hilda, they feel like they know Lorna, they feel like they know Mel, they feel like they know Cooper. And you have to educate as to why you're there. You're not a teacher. You're just educating them about your why, the reason for why you gave there. And then you got to give them value. So all of you guys have the Freedom Blueprint. And when I tell you that this has been thousands of dollars put together, thousands, throughout the years, I've been in this industry since 2005. I don't exaggerate. So when you tell them this, you have to know what you're holding is thousands of dollars, right? So the only thing that I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you an updated version so that you don't have it'll have your email address. So I'll give you the version so you can put your email address on there. The other thing that you want to have is that you want to have a whiteout board. And then obviously if you have a whiteout board, you need to have what you call it, you need to have, let me mute this little girl. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. She's smart. So and then you want to have different colors, right? Because you don't want every color to be the same. So you want to have black, red, green. So you want to have a variation because that keeps the people. There you go. Exactly. She's the pro. I told you she was a pro. And then you want to have, this is how easy. You just write it down with markers, with permanent markers. And this is literally from the dollar store. So and this is also from the dollar store, and you literally just write the stuff that you see me writing. So if you want me to send you copies of this, I will send you copies of this. But this is like literally, I'm not, you don't want to make anything fancy because everything that you're showing, you're telling people this is how fancy you have to be, or this is, you want them to think, oh, I can do it better than her. Like, look at her. Like she can't even pronounce things, right? So that's what you want to give value throughout the life, and you want to give them a reason for why they want to stay on the live. You also want to give significance to the people that are there. And then let's say that you have nobody there. Then what I want you to do is to do the dream 5. Your ideal people. You need to have people better than you and bigger rock stars than you. Because imagine if you had, let's say that you had Taylor Swift. Wouldn't that be incredible if Taylor Swift already said, you know what? I just found out about this thing to help all of my follow my fans so that they can afford to go to my concert. I found a way that everybody can make more money. So you want to have your dream 5 of the 5 people that you would love to have as your affiliates. They have to be better and bigger than you. So when there's nobody in the audience, a lot of you will hear me say, oh, hi, Emma. Oh, hi, Jessica. Hi, Danny. Hi, Johnny. And even if they're not there, they're in my mind because I'm attracting them. I'm bringing them up. Now, you always want to state the facts and tell the truth. Don't say something that is not true just because you're nervous. Don't say something that is going to get you banned or is going to make you look like a liar. And then TikTok algorithm is full of just user psychology. So every person wants to feel valued, even if they're user 1, 2, 3, even if you user whatever it is, right? So every person that shows up on your life, they need to be acknowledged. You need to say, oh, hello, so-and-so, oh, hello, so-and-so, so that they know that you see them, that they're significant, that they matter. And if you don't do that, then people just leave because you're not acknowledging them. Now, at the beginning, people are going to come and it's going to be like a big rotation, but you got to stay on. And a lot of people ask, well, can I do it for 30 minutes? No. You have to go for no less than an hour and 15 minutes. at the bare minimum. Ideally, you want to go for 90 minutes. And if you cannot go every day, then you need to make sure that it's like a TV show. You need to make sure that you're going live on a regular schedule basis. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then you want to do one of the weekend days. So you want to do regular schedule on the weekdays and regular schedule on the weekend, but you got to have at least one of the 2 weekend days. You want to pick one of those, because otherwise you're going to leave the people that are looking for you, because people that are looking for you, they have full-time jobs. So they don't have time to go find you whenever you are on TikTok live. Does that make sense, everybody? Give me a yes in the chat over in our community. Give me 1 second. And then, okay. The TikTok user behavior. Everything that TikTok does is to keep us, like, literally you need to understand that TikTok is the most lethal thing that we have right now on the internet, because whatever they did, they use a lot of behavior user. And even if you think of something, TikTok is going to start feeding it to you. That's why countries and presidents have been fighting over TikTok. So you have the most powerful tool for free for you to use. And if you use it, it'll work for you. If you don't use it, it obviously will not work for you. So you have to make sure that you are up to date with everything that is going on with TikTok. And then you want to prep before you go live, right? You want to make sure that you have that you just like Hilda showed you, you want to have a little board. You don't want to be so big that you can't even see your face, because you want them to connect with your face. The next thing is that you want to have your prompts. Exactly. You need to have a light, because you don't, if TikTok sees you really dark and they can't see your face, or you have a hot mess behind you, TikTok will not show you, because they call low value. So you have to prep, not just for the technical aspect of it, and then you have to make sure that you're being charged, right? That your phone is fully charged. But when you're live, your phone goes through battery a lot faster. So you need to make sure that you have enough battery, and then that you're getting recharged. Okay. Very good. Perfect. Okay. Next is you want to, if it's possible, you want to have 2 devices, an old phone and then and the other phone, so that you can show people, this is how you go to my page, this is da. So to give them steps, you can have an old phone that is just Wi-Fi, and then the phone that you're actually working on. And then you want to have a charger. You want to have a charger for your new phone and your old phone. You want to have a connection, better than mine. And then you want to have a description about what your topic is about. And then the one thing that TikTok just recently changed is that you have to say that this is promotional material. So you're just going to have to do a search for how to change your category to make sure that it says that it's promotional material. Because if you tend to monetize anything about what you're doing, and you don't tell the audience that this is promotional material, then TikTok can say that you're in trouble. And then again, every single time that you're doing anything on TikTok, you have to have the intention that you're here for them to know you, like you, and trust you, to learn more about the curiosity of why they want to make more money online, or more income, because you can't say money. You want to say more income online with working with you with a done for you membership. Now, again, if they're pushy and they're like, whoa, this sounds like a whatever, this sounds like Legal Shield. It is. I love Legal Shield. And then you go back to saying the membership, because we are promoting the membership. Now, the background, you don't want to, you can go without having a background. You can just have like a boring white background, but you want to make sure that you don't get washed out, so that you want to make sure that you stand out like I do. And then if you see this, I always have this because this is Laguna Beach. So then this gives me a reason for them to like, oh, that's where Maria is. Maria's from Laguna Beach. And I always refer back. So like Hilda has this beautiful deal, has the Tiffany deal. So you want them to remember you about something, right? You want to be identified. And then you don't want to have music. I know there's a lot of people that say it's better to have music, but if you have music, you can be banned again immediately. And then if you want to replay that one and you had music on the background, YouTube and other channels may cut you out because you had music. So it is better to be sorry. It is better to err on the side of caution than regret. And then you don't want to have something that is too loud. Like if you're somewhere and it's super loud, people are just going to tune out and they're going to walk away. And then you want to make sure that your live has a description or what you're going to be talking about in the category. And again, anything that I'm saying that you don't know how to do it, then just go and say, how do I do promotional information on a live? And then like TikTok is amazing because it'll give you step by step by another creator. And remember, it has to be 3 months, no more than 6 months ago that this was relevant. And then you want to look at, let me stop sharing this. People are always asking me, how do you go live? How do I learn this? How do I do this? Well, can everybody still hear me? Okay.
Okay, you froze for a second, but that's okay. You're back.
Yes, I'm back. So here is the thing. The thing that happens is that so many people, what they do is that they yay! Somebody just got $100 on that SoFi thing. They just texted me. I got $100. That's awesome. Okay. If I were to tell you the number of hours that I have spent watching other creators go live so that I can learn what they're doing. So I will sit there and comment and give them love and let them. I'm not trying to be deceitful that I'm interested in what they're selling. There was one girl that I was actually curious that she sells insurance. She sells life insurance, and she does it beautifully because she just promotes work from home and work remotely. So I literally have watched her at least 10 times from beginning to end, and I will sit there waiting for her to get started so that I know how she begins, how she goes in the middle, and how she ends. Now, you don't have to do that. You can just go watch me because you will take everything that all the TikTokers that I watch, you can take it from me because you want to learn how to do TikTok live for Legal Shield, but you don't want to say Legal Shield. So all the hours that I have spent, you can actually glean from all of that, and you don't have to go watch other lives. If you just watch my lives over and over, you will pick up. Now, the other thing is that I watch our webinars, our Legal Shield webinars at 5 o'clock. Normally, unless I'm preparing for you guys or unless I'm helping one of you guys, my time from 3:30 until 6 p.m. is blocked. From 3:30 until 5 p.m. I'm going live or prepping to go live. And then from 5 to 5:30, I'm watching the live, and then I'm literally videoing. Some of you guys have asked me, how do you get those videos? I'm sitting there on the live and recording with my phone exactly the testimonials because I want to know what other people know. There's people that have been with Legal Shield 40 freaking years, and they have done it the old school way. You are literally sitting on a gold mine. And this is why I call this the TikTok takeover. Leaders that have been on that came in that are already making a ton more money than I am, and people that have been on Legal Shield for many more years than I have and are making a ton more money, they're watching me because they want to figure out how to crack the code. You guys get me. You guys don't have to pay a dime to do this. I'm teaching you guys how to do this. Now, a lot of you are not going to be doing TikTok lives for a while, and that's okay. But you want to know that shy introvert people are the ones that do this because we don't want to go talk to humans outside. We don't want to go to a networking party and be awkward, and we don't want to go talk to our friends and family and be ghosted for life. We don't want people to be rude to us. We just want to block. If they're mean to us, if they're ugly to us, we block and we move on, right? And when I say what I love about this is that in addition to everything that we do, this is truly rejection free because people who want to buy, people who don't. So if I give a video to say Adolf, right? And I give him a video, he says, I'm not interested. Okay, great. See you later, alligator. Because I have something that you're gonna eventually want or need. So I'm okay. He didn't say no to Maria Lupita. And if he did, I don't care. Because eventually I'm going to be making a heck of a lot more money that he's gonna be, how did you do it? And I'm like, dude, I told you 5 years ago. I told you 20 years ago. Now we're all millionaires. And I'm not exaggerating on the millionaire part. I'm not making you false promises, but the evidence is there. If Brian Carruthers, if you have ever seen a shy, and this is being recorded, and I don't know if he would agree, I think he would agree. Like he couldn't even pick up a girl That's why he had to go on Match.com to pick up his wife, because he's so awkward and introvert and shy, right? So those of us who are shy and introverts, we do more better. We do better because we don't want to do all the stuff that other humans do, right? So if you are shy and an introvert, you are going to do much better because those are the ones that do more success here. Okay, so some of the topics that you can use is how to make master six-figure freelancing, how to make $10,000 through social media, how to create digital. I mean, no, how to. So I'll give you this because this is for another one. So don't forget those, the ones that I gave you. This is about just how to make income with that digital membership. And then you're going to talk about you're going to set up, you're going to set up right here. What is, and then again, all the things that I say, how do you do this? Then you go to TikTok live. I mean, you go to TikTok and you search for that and it'll give you the current way as to how to do it. Because if I were to go back to this particular training, it's totally outdated, believe it or not. Okay. So you're going to say a little bit about you. You don't need to have a TikTok goal because here your intention is not to have TikTok give you all this money for going live. You want to get more clients. You want to become a millionaire. You want to do the things that are going to move the needle with your legal show business. Make sense? And then you want to make sure you use your name and you are going to talk about yourself as a third party. Hilda Nieves or Hilda Bermudez, because she just changed her freaking name again. You got to know what your name is. You got to know what your name is and keep
It's
that name.
Nieves.
But it says Bermudez.
Oh, I haven't changed it there.
So you want to have your first name and your last name be the same way everywhere on the internet, because believe it or not, every time that your name is placed out there, the internet is documenting it, and the more that you document your name, the more that it's going to prop. When I first started being on the internet, there was another Maria Lupita that she's like a psychic killer or something, and she would always come up more than me. And I'm like, and then the little year by year, now if you look up Maria Lupita, we both come up about the same. But I'm more current than she is, so now like I'm trumping. Okay. Constantly be welcoming people as they come in. Constantly be saying, hello, user 2347. Hello, Mr. Hotshot. And people will have the most fascinating names, and you just call them by those names. Now, you have to be careful because sometimes people have words that you're not supposed to say out loud. So sometimes I have Cooper, or I have Mel, or I have other people that help me. They're like, don't say that. Or people will say things on the comments, and then they ask me to say it, and I'm like, oh shoot, I already said it. So you always have to still think outside of that. And then this is a big one. You have to remember to keep smiling, because otherwise you're going to be so focused on being focused that you're going to look frumpy and you're not going to look inviting. So you need to remind yourself, like you need to have something that says smile, smile, smile. Exactly, Mel, because Mel looks really serious. So you have to constantly remind yourself to smile. And then you want to talk about why you're here, your story. I'm always talking about why, like, and I have my dad's funeral thingy. And I always tell my story about my dad. I always tell the story about my mom. And then depending on the audience, I will tell about my childhood and why, how I was abused by 5 of my uncles. And so depending on your story, you tell your story, but you need to know your story in order for you to share the story very confidently. But it takes time, right? So if you want to learn your story, then you need to get together with me and I'll teach you how to tell your story. Now, you need to know the reason you're doing this. Hilda, she doesn't ever want to go back to having a job in her 60s. Cooper wants to stop working 3 jobs. Cooper wants to be better than Brian Carruthers and be a multi-millionaire because he can. Cooper is so lucky that he started at age 33 versus me at age 53. Cooper is 20 years ahead of me. So imagine if he just keeps on trucking and keeps on trucking, just like Cooper and Mel. They've done what they could, and they're already managers. And I don't think they would argue with me that they did it with my help. I had a lot to do with them becoming managers. So even if you are not a go-getter like I am, And it's not that they're not go-getters. They're both very busy in their individual lives for different reasons. So it's not because of their lack of effort, but because I'm a rock star, so I'm doing this full time. So Cooper and Mel said yes to me almost immediately, or actually immediately. They had not even looked at anything. This is what I love about Beatrice and Lorna. They literally have people say, I think you should do this. Don't worry about watching the video. You can watch the video later, but you want to take a position right now. And that's literally what Mel and Cooper did. They trusted that they've been following me. So eventually you're gonna build such a reputation that people are going to trust you in whatever decision you are suggesting for people. And then whatever it is that you're gonna tell your story, you also want to show pictures of that. So you want to have pictures ready, like I've been showing you, right? Because you don't want to be so techy that you know, like some people do focus on having an iPad. I don't want to be dependent on an iPad because I don't want to have to charge something else. You know, so I'm very old school. I got these when I was in Germany, when I was in what's the Switzerland, right? But I don't know where you can get this, but you can get something like this, or you can literally just get little clamps and then just have them like that. You can always get creative. You don't have to be perfect, but you just, I mean, literally I will give you guys all these little writings, and I just write them on these things, and then I have the other ones, you know, written out. Got it? And then on top of that, I have letters that I say, but I don't get in the weeds as to what Legal Shield is. So I said, you know, if it is so nice to have an attorney speak out for me, because this is what happened to me. You can say, this is what happened to my friend Maria. This is what happened, you know, they were trying to charge us $1,400. So you don't want to get too much into the weeds as to what the membership offers. You want to get into really as to why they want to do this, to make more income, because that's why we're here, to make more income. How to go on live. So every social media platform, if you've been going platform like Hilda used to do a lot of lives on Facebook and going on TikTok live. Can I have your thumbs up to tell them how you started, Hilda? Okay, so Hilda was so freaking nervous at the beginning that literally she would take shots to go live or to make videos, because it's so nerve-wracking for some people. So not everybody starts out the way that they look like, you know, like she wasn't all fancy like she is today. She started with just being afraid and freaked out and not knowing what to do. But mindset is everything. So mindset happens with the reps that you do. Mindset is something that you borrow at the beginning from whoever is coaching you. So at the beginning, you're going to borrow my mindset, my belief that I believe that Lorna can do it, my belief that I knew Hilda could do it, my belief that I know Cooper. If Cooper can work 3 freaking jobs for 3 bosses so that they're telling him what to do, he can definitely boss himself and show up on a live so that he can make more money faster and get there faster. Now, the 6th piece to remember: proper preparation prevents poor presentation. If you prepare in advance, you will have, and by the way, Hilda, I'll give you, no, you're good, honey. I'm going to give you guys because you guys showed up live, I will give you the deck of this. So you'll have the deck, so you can download it. You can download the whole thing, and so you can just enjoy yourself and not have to take a screenshot. So you're good. Just remind me to give you the deck. So preparation is the biggest flex for building confidence. If you don't prepare, you're going to be terrified. You're going to be scared. So preparation. And you need to have the intention about, I'm here to build know, like, and trust factor. You don't want to look like professional. You want people to say, oh my gosh, you're such an idiot. Oh my gosh, like, look at your lips. Like, stop putting fillers on. Literally, people say that. Oh my gosh, you're such a scammer. Well, thank you. Thank you for noticing that, right? You want to consistently be educating people about who you are, why you're here, why does it matter that you've been laid off so many times, and why you don't want to have to be putting yourself at that. Why Cooper doesn't want to keep working 3 jobs to barely make ends meet because we live in South Orange, California. Why Mel wants to do this because he put himself at such situation because he took care of his wife for a number of years. So you want to give the story so people know who you are and why you're doing this. Again, give value, give significance. Every person, if it's one person on that live, this is what's fascinating on TikTok, by the way. What's fascinating on TikTok, and by the way, if you guys are dropping any if you're dropping any comments, make sure that you drop them over on the school community, because otherwise I won't see them at all. What's fascinating on TikTok live, Hilda knows this, is that when you're on a TikTok live, you may see crickets and you may see no one is there, but people are literally watching you from the outside, and they don't want anyone to see that they're watching you. So sometimes when you think no one is watching you, there's at least 10, 20 people that are watching you outside of your live, and it doesn't show that they're watching you live. But on any given live, you're going to have anywhere between 200 to 5,000 people if you go for 90 minutes. If you go right an hour or under an hour, they might give you 160. They'll give you just like a handful of people so you can come back tomorrow. But if you go for at least 1 hour, they'll give you a few hundred. But if you go for an hour and 15 minutes or 90 minutes, they'll definitely give you a few thousand if you stick to it. Okay. And then remember, drop any questions that you have, so that I don't leave any questions that you have. And then remember, go ahead.
One thing about the going live, I think for me is like if you don't engage with people, then your live is like zero.
Yes, absolutely. You have to give reasons to engage, and we're going to be talking about that. You have to, and that's what I'm about to say. You're hosting a party. You are the host of the party. So if you're at a house and you're throwing a birthday party to your kid, your nephew, your cat, your dog, I don't care what it is, you have to say, "Oh, hi, how are you? Great to see you. Would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like the?" You have
Yeah.
to host the party. If you don't host the party, then you're not going to be a good host, because a host has to host the party. And the job of your host, the job you as a host, has to be hosting the party. Okay. So make sure that you are a good host. Now, again, I'm going to tell you this over and over again. State the facts, tell the truth. State the facts, tell the truth. Don't exaggerate something just to sound good. You don't need to sound intelligent. You don't need to sound like you're better than you are. If you haven't made any money, don't say that you've made any money. Say, I haven't made any money, but I'm here because I want to make money. And I see all these people making money. So that's why I'm here. Here I get to show up on this thing on my phone with Wi-Fi, and then I get to meet you guys without having to bug my friends and family. That's better, right? So I don't have to show, if I were to go to a job, I would have to go through an interview, I would have to drive, I would have to get ready, and I may get fired immediately, like it has happened to many people. So again, remember to use the user psychology of TikTok, and remember that you gotta play nice with TikTok. You gotta understand that you're using the behavior that TikTok is going to be friends with you if you play nice with the algorithm. You play nice, and then now we're owned by the United States, or partially by the United States, so you have to also play nice to the United States. So I have a burner. Okay, this is something else. I have 3 accounts. I have a backup account, and you need to have this. You have to have a backup account. So just like if you ever get banned, you have an account that you go there once a week, and you upload content. You need to have a burner account, because all of us, we just need to unplug and just watch whatever. If you want to watch cat shows, if you want to watch funny things, whatever you want to watch, you watch on your burner account. Does everybody know what a burner account is? If you don't know what a burner account is, I'm about to show you. So my burner account, some of you have seen it. So when you go to my account, when you go here, you're gonna, some of you, I send you guys things for my burner account. It's just user 123000, so I could remember that was me, and literally just has a black thing, a black picture, and that's my burner account. So here I watch whatever I want to watch without having to impact my account. Because if I go to my account and I start watching anything else on my business account, I just mixed up my entire page. So if I go and I watch anything politics, anything having to, like right now that it's open and I'm talking about ICE, I'm talking about anything, well, guess what my account is going to do? It's going to start giving me that stuff. So I need to make sure that whenever I'm talking about something that is not relevant, I'm on my burner account. And then additionally, you want to have a backup account, because you never know when somebody's going to do something, or you do something, or you inadvertently say the gay word, or you say something that you didn't know that was not allowable, and then you get banned. So you need to have an account to tell people, hey, something just happened. I got banana. I'm over here. Got it? Okay, very good. checking. Come on. Is this helpful so far, everybody? And then be ready to
Yes.
block. Thank you. Hilda, yes?
Yeah.
Be ready to block. And especially people that are, and it's not because we're being discriminative, everybody, because some people are going to say that you're discriminating, but you're going to mess up your algorithm if you allow, and then if you go late at night, like sometimes I do, you're going to get a lot of countries that are daytime at nighttime for us. So you want to make sure that you block any country that is not of your country, because you have no business catering and explain. The minute that you say another country, no, I'm not in Kuwait, no, I'm not in South Africa, no, I'm, every time that you say those other countries, guess what the algorithm is going to do? Give you more of those countries. So the only thing I say, this is only available in the United States, this is only available in the USA. If you're not in the USA, you're not going to be able to be here. So if you're not in the United States, just not USA or outside of the USA. So I teach people what to say and how to say it so that my algorithm keeps honoring me. Now, again, we go back to the sounds. You have to make sure that at every time you are talking about what is going to make sure that it's going to honor what you're trying to do. And then you have to make sure that your name is clearly written, and that all around the internet, on every social media platform, on every website that your name is, you have to be, my Maria Lupita, it's a name that is branded. So like Robert Krook is a name that across the internet, if you find him, he's a very successful businessman and a very successful TikToker. He grew his account to over 1 million people by just talking about what he talks about. And then you want to make sure that you don't confuse your name with your username. Those are two different things. Your username still has to have your first name and last name, and then the second part of your name is going to be what you stand for. So like, for instance, on my TikTok is marialupita.us, because that's the handle or the username that I use across all of social media, because I want that brand, because it's easy to remember. Maria Lupita, because I'm in the United States, so it's easy to remember. It's not very long, so I just do that. On my other backup accounts, and I will call myself different things, but my main accounts that I want to be known throughout the internet, that's my name. And then, and again, this might have already changed, but you can only change your name about every 7 days. So visual setup. You want to make sure that you're not like this, right? Some people are talking on their TikTok and they're like this, or they're like this, and it's like, no, you have to be like, your face has to be in the middle, unless you're showing stuff over here, but it has to be aesthetically pleasing. And you don't have to show up all done up. Like sometimes I show up with my pigtails and, just coming from workout, and I tell people I'm showing up. So I'm giving them my lifestyle as to why I'm doing like this. And like Hilda was saying earlier, you need to make sure that you have a ring light. So your face, like imagine if I showed up with this light, you see the difference? And then if you have to make sure that you don't have any lights upstairs, any lights up above, because look at the major there. If you have any light above, it's going to kill how you look. And TikTok will literally stop sending you people if you have headlighting. So you can only have light in front of you, and it has to be a light that it accentuates you versus making you all like you're a dead person or something like that. Got it? So you always have to make sure that my office is actually like a dark room. Cooper would tell you that it's just like a dark room. And then you want to also have, I don't know if you guys can see it. You want to have something that you can jump on, and you don't have to have something fancy like that. But you wanna shift your energy before you go live. Like I literally will go like, okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Like literally, I do that. I know it sounds crazy.
That was funny.
Huh?
That was funny.
But I literally do that. I literally do that because you have to show up with energy. Like I talked to Joy. I don't know if Joy is here still, but Joy says like, you sound so different. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you sound like with so much energy on the live, and now you sound like a normal person. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if I was to be like, hello, everybody, great to see you. Yeah, I'm here to tell you.
That was my first live.
And all of us are like that. Go ahead, Cooper.
Yeah, so at my work, they say that it takes 17 seconds to like completely like change like your physiology. So like if you're thinking of a bad thought for 17, it's gonna take 17 seconds of thinking of a good thought to like change your mind about it. So like just yeah.
That's
So
it.
with like the jumping, it'd probably be, 17 seconds of jumping to
To change your state, right? Yeah, to change how you feel. And then this is going to be your best friend. You don't want to be holding your phone or having it propped on something. You want to exactly. So you want to invest on an actual holder so that so that and it's you can get them as cheap as like $5, so you can at the beginning I had like very cheapy stuff, and the more and then they go on sales they go on sales they go on sale on TikTok. So it's and then so here's another thing. People would literally throw shots at you. Oh my gosh, it's already 7. It didn't My alarm didn't even go off. What the freak? Hang on one second. I told you guys that I would pause. Hang on one second. What the oh, I don't have 7 o'clock alarm. Well, no kidding.
Mhm.
Give me one second. Repeat. Okay. Um, where was I at?
Lighting.
Oh, oh yeah. So literally people will take shots
Oh,
at my accent. Like literally, right? So people will say like, "Oh my gosh, wet bag," or "Oh my gosh." I mean, hurt people. So if you take people seriously, it's like if you saw somebody drunk on the street and they're like, "You're ugly," or like the bully at when you were, and like we're adults now. Like, okay, thank you for your opinion. Block, 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 block. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take questions. Are there any
oh,
questions? Let me see. Hello. Okay, so are there any questions that I need to address before we keep moving?
I have a question.
Dollar store, those are placeholders. They use them for the weddings. I've looked for them, G, but I've not seen them. So if you ever seen them, please put them in the WhatsApp group. I would love to. I would love to buy a ton of those. Hilda.
Oh, I was just writing it. When you go live, this is my biggest thing. When you hit that live button for Legal Shield, what is the first thing you say?
Hi everybody.
Oh, really?
I
No,
I
I
just
don't think so.
I just took a big breath and I don't know what happened, but oh my gosh, I'm coughing everybody. Hi, I'm Maria Lupita. Today I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about how do you go about making extra income online?
Okay.
How do you show up to a party? Hi. Same thing. You want to you always you want there's something about you using your hands, and I'm not exaggerating. There's actual psychology, and that's why I always show up with my hands. Hi everybody, because in the old days your brain says that I don't trust this person because she's hiding her hands, so I don't trust her. So you always want to be showing your hands while you're on a live. And then yes, exactly. So you want to make sure that you are visual and that you're just a human. Like you show up to a party, you show up to dinner, you show up to see your best friend, you show up to, a group of you. There's a tea party and you showed up, or you show up to you're at the grocery store and somebody says, "Oh hi, do you want to go next?" You're like, "No, that's okay, you can go." Normal. Be a normal human.
Do you repeat yourself? Like, do you repeat the same thing over and over and over?
Absolutely, and we're gonna go over at the end as to how we go about that. But throughout this live, absolutely. So you you the one that I go over, which is the how to make $1,000 in 24 hours. I literally go over that. So I make the money green because I want them to actually think green money. So I make that intentionally really big, and I put that, and then I got in trouble because I was letting people in at $128. So now it's $183. And you say, imagine investing $183 and then in 24 hours, you can make $1,000 and you're literally writing it. And you're emphasizing, your tonality goes down on the one. You only pay 183 as your investment, and then you make $1,000 in 24 hours, right? I emphasize, like, if it's underlined. And you say that through, you do that a few times throughout your life, and you have to put them in different colors. So yes, absolutely, you do that. That's a great question. What else? Cooper, any questions? If not, we'll just keep moving.
I'm sorry, another question. So you're welcoming people to your live, and then when you do the numbers, I guess after you do the numbers, you get another script and keep on talking about the opportunity, and then go back to the numbers again.
Yes. When you get another round of people, right?
Mhm.
When you talk about it's like every 10 minutes you're doing this number, because about every 10 minutes you get a new round of people. And even the people that I have, people that have stayed with my live 90 minutes. Like with this one, people will stay on. If you're doing a good job, people will stay on a whole time. They won't say a word. They won't say a word. So when you go live, what happens is that TikTok, once I finish a live, and I'm gonna just give you an example. When I go live, I'm gonna go live on my other account, on my backup account. So I go live, and then when I go live, I'm gonna do go live, and then you're gonna see the people that are gonna start coming in, and I'm gonna say, hi everybody, I'm testing this to tell this beautiful group of people as to how to go live. And so if you can say hi everybody. So I'm teaching everybody how to go live. So you ever were wondering, oh, hi PM, hi, I'm Legend, hi Tourist Kick, oh, hi Paul, oh, hi Amy, oh, thank you, I really appreciate that. Now, what I also love doing is that I also love acknowledging the people that haven't shown up yet, because I know that there's people looking for me, because right now there's 0 people that are showing on my live, but I see Ariana, I see Charlie. Oh my gosh, I see Charlie. Charlie, I don't know if I'm doing the right pronunciation, because sometimes when, as a Mexican, I say Charlie versus CH or SH. So however I'm pronouncing, it's not my intention to mispronounce your name. And then once I finish the live, TikTok is actually going to tell me who was watching my live during the whole live. So now I'm going to go ahead. Oh, look, Levy just came in. Antonio just came in. Free just came in. Manuel just came in. Oh my gosh, Amanda just came in. Look at Amanda. Amanda's in the house. But now my face is really dark. I don't know why. So I'm going to get closer to the light because I look really dark, and TikTok doesn't like where I'm really light. So everybody, it was great. It was great hanging out with you. I know as I'm talking right now, there's only 0 people showing up, right? There's only literally 0 people, but I see people coming in. So now I'm going to end this live, and then, well, hello, Amanda. Great to see you. Thank you for your support. So now I'm going to end this, and then look at this. So I always take a screenshot of this. It says, congratulations, 13 people showed up, right? Those are 13 strangers, 13 human beings that showed up to my live. So now what I do is that I scroll down, and I see who is the person that watched me the most. Well, all 13 people just watched me for literally a second, because that's what they were. So normally it'll show you 100 people on here. So I literally, you can send bulk messages, and I already have it. Well, not this one, on my other one. I already have a pre-scripted, thank you for watching my live, and then you can only send 5 at a time. So I go through every person except the people who are from another country. So normally people from another country, they have funny names, they have different names. So obviously I take a shot at realizing who is my target audience. So if it's someone that is not in the United States, I don't send them a thank you. I don't acknowledge them, because that's only going to mess up my business, because I'm here to build a business, not to do charity work. Make sense? What other questions? No? Okay, I'm going to keep.
You.
My pleasure. And then Hilda, just so you know, I will be addressing all of your questions. So throughout this training, all of your questions are going to be addressed that you send me. And then we have like, I think Tony gave me like 100 questions. And then a lot of you have asked about green screens. Don't do green screens, because they could be good, they could be bad. So you don't want to bother with green screens. And then again, you want to make sure that you use a tripod, and you don't want to be creative unless you're like outside at a meeting showing the ocean or something like that. But even then, you want to just carry your tripod, your selfie stick. And the whole reason you're doing this is to show people how to make $1,000, right? $1,000 in 24 hours. Now, it doesn't matter whether you did it or not. It matters that it's available for people. People can literally make $1,000 in 1 hour. Had I known that I could have done it in 1 hour, I would have done it in 1 hour. But I wasn't explained that I could have done it faster. But yes, you can do that. So just because you didn't do it, that's irrelevant. Just because I'm not a soccer player, I can still talk about soccer. Does that make sense? Just because I'm not a grandmother, I can talk about what I look so forward to becoming a grandmother when I marry my future husband who has kids, and I want to be a pseudo grandmother. Even though I'm not a grandmother, I don't even have kids, I don't even have a husband, I don't even have a boyfriend, but I can still talk about it. Okay. Now, what was the answer? You will repeat yourself, like I was saying, Kilda, a lot. And that's normal because your audience is constantly changing. So the person that is there will say, oh my gosh, Maria Lupita, why are you saying that over and over again? Because you're not the only one here, darling. There's people that come in and out. So I have to repeat myself to the people that are coming in and out. So I want to say thank you because you've been hanging out with me. But I just have to repeat myself because it's a revolving door. So, but I want to acknowledge you, Jake. I want to acknowledge you, Tony. I want to acknowledge you, Danny, because you have been here. So it's a revolving door, and you want to constantly be saying your name so that they remember your name. And you want to constantly be reminding them that you're showing them how to use a digital membership by just simply sharing an link. You cannot say the word link on TikTok right now because then you might get banned. And you don't, anytime that there's a might, everybody can get away with it, but you could be the one that doesn't get away with it. So you don't want to take a chance on your business. And then you want to constantly be telling your story. What did you used to do? What got you here? What are you doing now? How did you find out about this? And remember that it is important you engage with every person, because that one person could be the person that has been listening to you. Like, for instance, G, right? If I had not been live, I wouldn't have met someone like a super rock star like G, or I wouldn't have met someone like a rock star like Beatrice. I mean, Beatrice is like on fire. And then Beatrice, if I had not met Beatrice, if I had not gone live, I would never have met Lorna, right? So there's all these things that you neglect when you are thinking that you have to wait until there's a big audience, one person, and no person matter, because the people that are outside that you don't even see are the people that even matter most, because they're silently watching you. And if they're silently watching you, it's because they think something of you, which is good. If there's no one, okay, so if there's no one in the room, you still talk to your ideal 5 people, that they're real people, and you want to imagine them, they're coming here. So you literally imagine Katie, Mila, Mikey. And I suggest that if you're a male, talk about males. If you're a woman, talk to women, right? Because it's just easier to not cross, but so that's my suggestion. You can take it or leave it. And then you want to constantly ask people, how's the weather where you're coming in? What city and state are you coming in from? Because what does that say? You're letting people qualify themselves whether they should be there, or you need to ban them from your life. Go ahead.
Engaging.
Yes, engaging, but you're doing it for a purpose, Hilda. You're doing it because you're trying to weed the people that are not from the United States. Now, Canada is also allowed, but right now my focus is just the United States, because I don't want to get into the weeds of getting people from Canada that may or may not work. So my only focus is penetrate 170 million adult Americans that are on TikTok. You want to remind them, follow me. Make sure that you go over to my email. Make sure that you go over to my email, and then you walk them through as to how you go to my email. Well, how do you go to my email? You go over to my page. You go over to my page and you walk them. If you have another old cell phone, if not, find one at a used store or something, or have a relative figure out a way to find an outdated cell phone. And you're like, look, all you have to do is go here, click on there, and then you want to create an email, because you're not at the stage that you want to do something more elevated than an email. An email is going to work just sufficiently, because unless you have like hundreds of leads, then an email is going to be more than sufficient for you at this time when you're getting started, because you want to know the people that are coming. You want people to feel like, oh, she responded directly to me. So you want to respond, because at the beginning you're just building know, like, and trust factor. And remember, it's all about engaging. It's all about engaging the people that come in. You immediately acknowledge it. You make them feel special. You make them feel significant. You also want to make sure that you have good energy, that you're smiling, that you sound, because sometimes exactly you have to smile just like that. And then you have to make sure that you check with people. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because like there's times that Hilda has come in and people couldn't hear me. Then you want to say why you chose a digital membership, because you don't want to reinvent the wheel. A lot of us have done many different things, and you talk about the things that you have done. You were in the corporate world, you were an employee, you tried buying courses to resell courses, you are in the banking industry. You say all the things that you have tried. Everyone's story is their story, so you want to make sure that you are really relating to a story, because somewhere out there there's someone else that had your story. So again, what do you share? How to make $1,000 in 24 hours. And then you use your note cards. You use your note cards just to tell people what you're talking about, so that you don't have to remember, because sometimes you're going to forget that this is not insurance, and you want to make sure that people know that this is not insurance. There's only 3% penetration. So then I have a little card that shows that there's only 3% penetration, and there's 179 million Americans that are looking for this, and and then you stay relevant to what's going on in the country. Oh my gosh, the prices of gas. Who has been affected? I was just affected. I went to the gas pump and it was almost twice as much. So you're constantly giving relevant current stories. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the layoffs too.
Layoffs, exactly. So you want to
Mhm.
always be relevant with whatever's going on in the country, so that people say, me too, I just got laid off, or my gas, I can't do that anymore, I can't do this, or I can't do that. So you always want to be relevant, and you always want to help make sure that people are feeling heard.
And all the people that are calling out also across the United States
What do
at
you
the
mean?
airports.
Oh, now what do you mean by that?
Like 40% of workers are like calling out with the workers at the airports.
Oh, you mean the employees at the airports are calling us
Yeah,
not going to
call.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that's something that you want to talk about whatever is. Now, don't go into politics. Do not go
Yeah.
into politics, because the minute that you go into politics, you're going to attract a whole crew of people that their whole focus is to talk 50-50%, right? And your TikTok live is going to go about making money online and what you want to talk about, and then it's going to be very, very politically oriented. So talk about what Cooper is saying, but just make sure that you do not cross over to anything politics, not when you're doing business. And then, if possible, have a second phone so that you can do this. Now, like I've been saying, there's words that you're not supposed to say, and there's words that could get you banned immediately. So you want to make sure that you don't say gay, that you don't say retard, that you don't say retarded, that you don't say money, and then that you look for the guidelines to make sure that you're doing everything. Why did you choose to do digital marketing? Why did you choose to do a digital membership? And why are you choosing to do going live? Because everybody's like, I can't go live. Well, number one, nobody has to go live. You always, you show it to them so that they read it and they hear it and they see it, right? So I don't just write these things down for no purpose. I want them to read it, see it, hear it, and see me saying it. So you don't have to go live, but I would rather go live on a little phone than have to drive to an office to do an interview. I would rather go live than have to drive to a job. I would rather go live than go talk to strangers and do cold calling. I would rather go live than bug my friends and family, and then you smile, don't you? Right? So for me, it's a lot easier to talk here, even though I'm incredibly, and you're constantly reminding people that you're incredibly shy and that you're an introvert, if that's the case. Remember, state the facts, tell the truth. State the facts, tell the truth. What is it like doubling up? Okay, and then you tell the story about what is it like when you double up the penny story, right? I don't know if any of you have heard this, but most people, they think that doubling a penny every day is not as much as $1 million in 30 days. Well, it's quite a bit more when you double a penny every day for 30 days versus getting $1 million. Well, doing a membership that has annual recurring revenue, and I'm always showing them this, then it's going to be much more powerful than getting a one hit of buying a course to resell a course at one time ever, and you emphasize one time ever. You're only going to get paid one time ever. Or if you have a job 9 to 5, the minute that they fire you, or you can't go to work or whatever, you're not going to get paid. And you talk about that for a minute. And then you tell them that your big promise is that you're going to show them how to plug into something that already happened, something that is going to show you how to leverage it. They're going to show you exactly how to start it, how to launch it, and then how to build it. And it's all part of the system that this company offers. And then you're going to ask these questions throughout your life. Okay, I want to make sure that you're here. If you're here, drop a 1 if you've been thinking about starting an online business. Number 2, drop a 2 if you're ready to start an online business. And then you just go through the questions throughout your life, and then you go back and you read them again, and you're like, okay, oh, me too, oh, me too, oh my gosh, you're so smart to be doing this. So which one are you? So you're constantly throwing questions that are things that people are already thinking of, that you know that you were thinking, or you have seen that other people were thinking. And again, you go back to acknowledging. And then when you don't see any gas, when you see the number 0, you're going to get in your head. And if you get in your head, huh?
I'll be right back.
You're good. If you get in your head, then you're gonna get in your head, and you're gonna lose the purpose of why you're there. And you wanna remind people that the reason you're there is that once they find 5 new customers, they're gonna be making about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. 5 new affiliates. It's gonna be about 5, and we can just do it. We can just make it easier. About $4,000 a month, to make it simple. So when somebody gets 5 real affiliates that are serious about making money, it's going to be about $4,000 a month. And then for the people that want to make $10,000 a month, that's about 25 new affiliates, and then you go about making that money a month. And then you talk about people. Why did I choose this? Because I was tired of not having predictable monthly recurring revenue. Because even though there's a lot of ways to make money, hustling to make sales every single day is hard. Maybe number 3, and then you go and you read this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a lot of people are going to say they're all 7, and then you just go through each one, you read each one, and you ask the people. And then if you have a calendar, which everybody should, then I usually have a calendar nearby, and then I say, what would it feel like if next month, even before the month turned over? And just so you know, a lot of what I'm showing you is not only that I've been watching other creators do this, is that I paid an actual expert to teach me how to do this. So this expert actually teaches other experts on how to do a membership and how to say the things that I'm showing you. So it's not just me watching other TikTokers to do lives. It's an actual professional that has been teaching how to do this stuff. Because the whole turning a page and what I'm going to be giving you guys is all part of the membership that I've been a part of, that I paid money to be a part of. And then you constantly want to be reminding people that this one significantly decreases people's stress, because it gives you a predictable, passive, residual, recurring, and you emphasize recurring, because hardly anywhere are you going to get recurring, daily, leveraged compound income. Right? Because that's not something that you can get in one spot. Not only that, this company will pay you a whole year in advance. They're so confident about what they offer that they will pay you a whole year in advance, and they will pay you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And there's a reason for what you're saying. That yesterday I talked to, was it you, Lorna, that we talked to, Derek? I don't know if we lost Lorna. So there was this gentleman that got on, and what he was saying is that he was okay with getting paid once a month. And I'm like, you have the choice of daily, weekly, or monthly. Because yeah, I'm okay with once a month. And he was trying to explain himself as to why it was okay to get paid once a month, because we have been so programmed to not get paid daily. So you want to really emphasize that. And then you want to emphasize that you're going to get paid until the end of times. And that's what you want to have reminders throughout your life, in addition to having this, that you do this. So what I do with this one is that I have it on my computer. But if I'm not on my computer, then I have an extra phone that I can go through the slides if I'm not at my house. But I'm never dependent on an iPad, because I just don't want to have so many things charged and be dependent and not be able to do it because I don't have my iPad. Some people don't do that. Then you talk again about doubling a penny, and then you remind them, remember I showed you about doubling a penny? And then you tell that story about doubling a penny. So this one was the one that Hilda was really confused about. So how do you go about making $1,000 in 24 hours? Is with a simple investment of $183, and you don't break it down as to what the $183 is. You just say that it's $183. And then you the 183 is because you're going to pay $99 one time ever to become an affiliate, and then 49 plus 37, it's for the premium family plan is $83 or $84. So when they come in with the family plan, and the affiliate is $183 to get started, and then after that is about $84 to continue being active. So it's a lot better to get people to start from higher amount than if you're starting at the bare minimum, which is 128. You don't have any wiggle room after that, because if they can't afford the 128, you can enroll them. But if they come in thinking that they have to come up with 183, which is the rule in our team, not the company, but the rule in our team, it makes it a lot easier. And what do? We just share an LINK. You never say link, and the company will, for the first 3 people that you recommend, the company is gonna pay you $80 per person. After that, the company is going to give you $200 by just simply going through a training. And then because you told 3 people, if you tell 2 more people, the company is going to give you an additional up commission by just telling 2 more people. And then Hilda was asking, well, how do I understand this? Well, you have to go through enough training so that it comes out of your mouth, and it just like it's like, how do I know that at 9 p.m. it's dark? Is because I live in United States, in California, and every single day about 8 p.m. is dark, right? It's not that I understand the physics or global warming. It just is the way it is. So it's the way that it is that the company pays us $200 when we go through a training. And also we've enrolled 3 people. And it is a fact that once we told 3 people, and then we told 2 more people to become associates, the company will give us an up in commission of from 80 to 100, and then a bonus because we enrolled 3 people and then 2 people. And you want to say 3 people and then 2 people because people are going to hear 2 people. Does that make sense? So there's a reason for why you say 3 and then 2, and you emphasize the 2. There's all the psychology that goes behind everything that we're doing. And then when you enroll 3 and then 2, the company will give you another bonus, and you say that another bonus of $400. And then you ask, who can do some mathematics? It sounds fancy, or it just sounds, that's something in your brain. And then you wait for them to come up with the amount, and then you're like, great job, Hilda, for coming up with that amount. No, that's close, but that's not it. Oh, no, that's not it. Let me go over the amount again. And then you start from the 400, 200. When I was doing the 200 and then the other way around, people had a hard time adding that up. But if you tell them 400, 200, 200, and then 240, people come up with that money. And then you tell them, remember, you didn't reinvent anything. You just simply share an LINK. And then you definitely want to use different colors for the markers that you're using. For each color, the money amount is always going to be, once you add it all up, it's going to be black. But in between the bonuses and the work that they're doing, so this one should be actually red. Yeah. Okay. And then you tell them, look, there's a few ways to make additional income, but the reason a digital membership is my most favorite way is because you can solve a collective problem without having to reinvent the wheel. And there's ways that you can make you have other choices, but the reason this is my most favorite is because you can resell courses, but you're always chasing after the next sale. And then you explain the things that you've done, or if you want to explain the ones that I'm giving you here, then you explain the ones that I'm giving you here. And then the price point, right? If you do buying a course to resell a course, the price point is a lot higher, but it doesn't give you what a digital membership like this one. And you're always saying this membership. You're not saying the Legal Show membership. You're explaining the money, and you're explaining the opportunity. You're explaining the project versus explaining what the membership does. You're not here to solve people's problems. You're not here to get them out of jail. You're not here to get them divorced. You're not here to do any of that. You're here to tell them how they're going to make money and how this digital membership equals freedom. And why this has been proven to work, because this has been around for over 50 years. So you're not going after the next shiny object. And this already has over 4 million, and you say that 4 million members. So you're not going to start from scratch. And then you start sharing testimonies. What testimonies do you share? You share yours, you share mine, you share other people. You go to my page and you see what other testimonials are there. But you want to have like Brian's testimonials, that he was working from wake to faint, as a young real estate successful, multiple six figures, and he decided that he wanted to have a life. He wanted to have weekends off, and he wanted to have evenings off. So, and then you give the story of Cooper working 3 jobs. You give the story of whoever, but you want to have 3 stories that you're going to share throughout your life. You want to share your own story. You want to share my story, that your mentor needed to make more money faster. She was having success, but she needed to make money faster. So this was the one that she chose, because it was going to pay her every single day. And then Lou's story was working 80 hours a week, and he was always gone. He was making good money, but always gone. Hilda's story was getting tired of being laid off in her 60s. Brian's story, and so on and so forth. Now, Carlos' story is good because he's talking about having an adult child with cerebral palsy. And people want to hear, like, what happens if I have someone that I'm caring for? Everybody has someone that they're caring for, or they're supposed to be caring for, or they know someone who is caring for someone. Mel had to take care of his wife for many years. So a lot of people can relate to those stories. So you give a variation of stories so that every person can relate to one of the stories. And then we already went about done. You always want to remind people that that to follow you, to make sure that they follow you, to make sure that they go over to your page. And you were asking about the landing page. You don't want to do a landing page when you are first getting started. You want to have a frictionless email. So Hilda, go ahead and unmute yourself. Tell us what your email is.
Oh, the new one. Win with Hilda
What is it?
at gmail.com.
Tell us again.
Win with Hilda at gmail.com.
So it's simple to spell, it's easy to remember. It's about them, not about Hilda. So it's not about Hilda wins, right? So it's not about Cooper is the rock. Cooper is the soccer player. It's about them and what benefits them. So that, and you want to make sure that it's not a word that is hard. Sneak. Is it a SNEEK? And then if people have to spell and learn how to spell whatever you're trying to say, it's not going to work. That's why I hardly ever give my name unless somebody already knows my name. Pricing point is only $183 to start. So if you're not in a position like that, then this is not going to be for you. So you want to get rid of people that are the tire kickers, that they don't have the money. If they can't figure out how to come up with $183, they're not your people. This is not a charity. This is a business. And then you always want to be reminding them, and you want to have this on a little plasticky thing so that it doesn't get all, so you print it once and only once. And you want to print this in color so that it looks more attractive. So you want to always be saying, this was gifted to me by my mentor, and she spent thousands of dollars putting this together, because it's true, right? So you always want to be showing this about every 15 minutes. You want to be reminding them that they're going to be getting that when they go to your email. And then you're going to get together with me so that I can show you how to automate your email, and then how to maximize your email. And then what we're going to be doing, not anytime soon, but at some point, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be going over to school. And you guys had seen it before, but I was not ready. But there's too many of you coming in, so I gotta streamline, and I gotta systemize what we're doing. So we're gonna open the community back up, and the community is going to give people exactly what they need to do, exactly what they need to do, exactly what they need to say. So when somebody comes in, they're already going to know exactly the step to take, because we're going to have a community just like Content to Cash for the people that for the people who are already affiliates, and then for the people that are looking to become affiliates. And that will be available probably in April or May. Sneak peek. you're always telling them, hey, if you, the reason you want to go to my email so that you can get the full picture of everything that we're talking about. You don't want to get into the weeds about everything that you're talking about. You want to give testimonials, you want to give status, you want to tell people about, there's X amount of people that are already making money. There's X amount of people that have already made millions. There's X amount. So you always want to give the facts so that people are understanding that this is not the Hilda project. This is not the Cooper project. This is a full-on billion-dollar company. And then you want to talk about your struggles. You want to talk about why you got started. You want to talk about why you're shy, why you sound insecure, because you are insecure. This is the first time that you're doing this. So you don't want to make yourself sound like you're not what you are. Because there was this guy, and I don't know if you remember this, Hilda, but there was this guy named Jimmy, and he went to all of us. He was trying to fish on all of us and trying to see who he was going to end up. He ended up choosing the girl that was least successful of all of us that he was talking to, because he could relate more to her than any of us who were much more successful than she was. And he ended up picking her because he thought that she would be able to help him because they were relatable. Everybody else was too far in advance. Okay. And be generous. Be generous in your compliments. Be generous with your time. Be generous in how you're telling them that you're going to give them something. Be generous on when you're responding to people. Every single person that is emailing you took time, because there was something in your story that made them inspire you, made them think like, if she can do it, I can do it. If they come at you when they reach out to you, some people will be, because hurt people hurt purpose. So you have to just remember that. And then you have to walk them through. Yes, go ahead.
Now, when you're giving the email out on your lives, what do you do when you get an email that says video? And I know you're going to give them a video, but I mean, is there like a specific letter or a specific script?
Yes, I'll send it to you. That's a whole separate thing,
Okay.
outside of the live, but you're always going to be using your prospect app. So once they send you an email, so like, let's say that I do get emails. Let me see if I can find an email from someone. Well, let's say that Mary Kate, right? Mary Kate sent me an email, and she sent me an email, and she put the word video. So then I would go here, and then I would save her name on my phone, and then I would add the contact, and then I would go to my prospect app. And the video that we always send is the gas pump. So I'll go to my gas pump, and then I would put share, and I would put share with contacts, and then I would go to the drop down menu, and then I would add the contacts, and then I would add the new contact, which that person that just got added, right? And then
Okay.
one thing that I do is that Cooper asked me the other day, why do people have colors? So if you can see, the yellow is people that are prospects, right?
Okay.
Easily see who the prospects are. The purples are the people that are already converted. They're already affiliates. Got it?
Yeah, I have to call support because for some reason when you go into your application
But
and
we
you have it,
can talk about that later.
yeah. Okay.
Because I'm running out of time really fast. So you're always gonna send that. So you're gonna do this, and then you're gonna go send the trackable link, and then I go back to the email, and then I respond to Katie, and I say, here is what you requested, and I'm gonna reply to all, and I'm gonna say, and then I already have it pre-written. Some of you know how I do that. Hang on one second. So I already have it pre-written. Give me 1 second. So WTT, and then great to hear from you, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm gonna paste. She's gonna be like, why in the world is she sending me this? And I'm gonna paste already the video, and then I just hit send. So I already have the pre-scripted words that I'm gonna say, and then I tell her what she needed to do. She's gonna think it's totally weird that I sent her that, but that's okay. So then you wanna talk about the struggles that you had, how you found this, and you're gonna talk about the story, because stories are the ones that the facts tell, stories sell. The more that you tell your stories, the more that you're going to be able to give more information, the more that people are going to remember you. So you have to give vivid stories with facts, not like I share this with a business owner. A business owner share with the business owner, and then they exchange information. They decided to get started. I heard the information, and they decided to get started too. Those are facts. That's not going to be a vivid story. If you tell the story, I was having a big struggle because I only got paid to 5 days to 40 days in the rear, and I needed $6,000 fast. And I've heard this businessman that this company paid every single day, 7 days a week, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have a shot. That's a story versus just telling the facts. Got it? And constantly be reminding people that you're shy and an introvert. If that is you, if you're not a shy and introvert person, don't make that stuff up. Questions so far? Okay. The other thing that you want to make sure that you remember, you remind people, and again, this is on the little, this is usually on these things, is that you got to remind people that there's no one on TikTok really doing this right now. And if those of you that decide that you want to go live, you are going to explode. Not overnight, but Hilda is ready to explode because she's been doing this for a long time. So there's 170 million American adults on TikTok. There's 3% penetration currently with Legal Shield. You only need 5 new associates that are like us, that are better than you, to make $4,000 a month. And this gives you a recurrent residual leverage compound income, unlike anything else. So there is nothing else that is going to give you this. And then you tell people, drop an I if you're looking for more income. Drop a T if you're looking for more time. Drop an F if you're looking for more independence, which stands for freedom, because I didn't have another I. And I didn't want to put the word freedom because independence is better. And then drop a Q if you want to quit your job, because then you know what people want. Then you take screenshots of what people want. If you see that everybody here wants to quit their job, you've hit a gold mine. Because if people want to quit their jobs, that means that they have money. That means they're not broke, right? You want people that are not broke. You want people that they're just ready for better, like Lorna, like Mel. You want people that have the means, and this is not going to break them by, if you attract a lot of people that are going to be broken with $183, you're going to work really hard. And then you always want to be looking at engagement hacks. How do you keep people engaged? By simply telling the same story, by reminding them that there's billions of people looking for this information. There's billions of people, there's millions of people looking at getting laid off. So you're constantly reminding them that they need to follow you, that they need to get your email, the LINK, and then you walk them through the process and you tell them, hey, if you have to bounce, because I know that you guys are busy, make sure that you follow me, make sure that you get my email right now, and here is my email, and you hear it, and you say that over and over, and you sound like a broken record. Okay, we're almost at the top of the hour. I'm going to go through these slides really fast. So if I go too fast, just make sure that you write down the questions on the chat, and then I'll circle back to this because I want to make sure that I go through all of these slides. And because then on the last hour, we're going to cover what you cover of the slideshow, the deck, and what you don't cover during a live. So number one, can this work for me? Absolutely. It works for people that they've never done this before. The majority of people that started doing this had never done it. I had never done it. I had always been an employee. So when I learned, are you here, Cooper? Okay. And
Yeah.
then
I just gotta go, so I'm gonna go onto my phone on Zoom. So I said I'll be in the waiting room. So
yes, so you're gonna come. I left the door open for you.
yeah, I haven't left my current place yet, so I'll be driving over there.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So then people are gonna be like, well, how do I find clients? Well, people just did you and I did I email you? Did I send you any information for you to come find me? No, because you were curious. You told the algorithm somehow that you were curious about what I offer. They brought you to me. So what the algorithm does is like a magnet for people to come to you. So you're going to get people that are looking for you by you just simply being on social media the way that we show you. And you always want to remind them that no, they don't have to do lives. They don't have to do lives. They don't have to do lives. You constantly want to remind them, because if you don't remind them, they're going to think that they're going to have to be like you. The other thing is that, how do I do what you do? Don't do what I do. You're going to have a person that is going to help you do all of this, because this took me a long time to learn. So you don't have to do it. And the reason digital membership is the best way and the best answer for you to make extra income online, is because it's 10 times easier to make more income and easier and recurring with a membership like this versus anything else. And then the juicy promise that I want to make you is that if you're looking for a better way, all you have to do is go to my LINK, to my email. Just go to my email and I will send you all the information, and I will answer any questions that you have in regards to this. And then just tell me, can you, and then you're going to say, a lot of people ask me, can you help me promote this online? Absolutely. We're going to give you step by step everything that you need to do. And we actually give you this blueprint that is thousands of dollars, and you're going to get this all for free. And you didn't even have to enroll with me. You don't even, if you just go to my email, you're automatically going to get this totally for free. And then you go back, if you're in the right place, if you blah, 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 right? You're in the right place, blah, 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 blah. And then anything that is being sold on the internet is considered digital marketing. So if you didn't know what digital marketing is, that's what digital marketing is. So Amazon, have you ever bought anything on Amazon? That's digital marketing. Have you ever bought anything on TikTok Shop? That's digital marketing. And you give them about 3 examples on digital marketing. Then you go into affiliate marketing. Digital marketing just simply means that people are promoting things for companies without having to reinvent the wheel, products and services. And then again, how do you go about making $1,000? We covered that already. And then how do you stand out? We teach you exactly how to stand out by showing you exactly, the blueprint as to how to create posts that make impact. And then you're going to be able to learn how to get your time back. And this is when you paint the story about them. You're going to be able to stop trading time for money. You're going to be able to do life on your terms. You're going to be able to spend more time with family. How would it look like if you could be with your kids whenever you want to? What would it be like if you could take vacation? So you're going to give them the imagination of what they're going to be doing if they do this with you. This allows me to grow my email list, build a brand. Okay. And then you want to remember that everything that you're doing is to allow you to build your email list and build your brand, and then make your account go bigger. And then because you're using digital marketing, affiliate marketing, your business is growing 24/7. Eventually you're going to wake up, like I've been waking up recently, to more money. More frequently than not, I'm waking up to more money because my team is growing. So you give stories like, for instance, this was done for one of my teammates, and he's a father to, husband to one, and a blue collar worker, and he's always working crazy hours. So he's doing this because he doesn't want to keep having that life. Or maybe you wanted to have an automated business so that you can stop chasing friends and family. Or maybe you just want to know how to get more information, so you just send me an email and then I'll send you all the information. Did you create relatable content? And then the other 5 simple steps that you want to remember is that we're going to teach you exactly how to leverage a done for you digital membership, how to create relatable content, which is just literally copy paste post, and then how to automate your business with just a simple email address in a community, and then how your ideal clients are going to discover you because of the curiosity concept, and then how you can learn to earn $416 at a time, and then build this rejection free, and then start and launch your business by just simply within 24 hours, because this is already a done for you opportunity. So if you're ready to do this, then you're going to tell them, go back to my email, and then in my email I send you all the information that you need. And then you have to remember, pro tip, your email has to have no frictions, no numbers, no weird words, no hard words, no words that say work, earn, things that people don't want to do, right? It's got to be something that is pleasurable to do and something that people would be drawn to. And then keep in mind, and you want to keep in mind that people are going to be distracted. So somebody that was really interested in what you were saying, maybe their kids were there, maybe their mom was there, maybe their boss was there, maybe their spouse came in, whatever it is, maybe they were at the hospital, like Hilda and myself and Mel were at many different times. So you got to remember that there's many distractions, and that there's going to be many distractions for you. Just like you're going to remind it, just like trying to lose weight, a lot of people don't get healthy because they don't do all the things that they're supposed to do. And some people don't get better at a sport because they don't do all the things that they need to do. But if you want to make $10,000, all you need is to have 25 new affiliates to be able to start making $10,000 a month. Because the only thing that happens is that the skeptics never really succeed because they stay on skepticism, where successful people, they just make decisions fast. And you're dripping on people to be able to make a decision versus staying a skeptic. It's okay for you to be a skeptic if you ask clarifying questions, but if you just stay being a skeptic, you're just not going to make money. I've never met a skeptic that was making a ton of money. Skeptics are people that are just not successful usually. And then you want to okay. So let me go through this really fast. Questions, you can get all the information. I realize that you need connections more than this. Today, I will explain to make more income, testimony, and always throughout your life, be consistently be giving them testimonials. And you have to remember that if you want to do what I do, like this was designed for Hilda and a couple of you who have said that you want to go live. You want to do this every single day at the exact same time for an hour and 15 minutes to 90 minutes every single day. And you want to talk to your ideal client. Like, for instance, with Hilda, my suggestion to her was for her to focus on TikTok Shop affiliates because she knows the language. She knows what's happening to them. She has a lot of stories for herself. If you're a blue collar worker, then you talk to your blue collar workers and why you want to be this. If you want to give examples of people that go to the gym, people that go to the gym get results. People that don't go to the gym don't get the results. So you're constantly giving people the examples that they need to have in order for them to make an informed decision, and you're constantly reminding them to go back to the email so that you continue to build your I'm going back because I just realized that I missed some of your questions. Okay, 1 second. I fear that I'm always having to take extra hours versus making money. Okay, how do I send potentials to my funnel? So your funnel is going to be your email, and then from your email you're going to respond. You're going to have an automated message that I'm going to show you now during this live because that's a whole different thing. For your funnel, it's going to be your email. Your email is going to have an automated response, and then it's going to say, if you want to do this, reply this, and then once you see the email, you're going to go and do exactly what I showed you a minute ago, and then you're going to remind them to go back to your profile to click on the email and then give that information. Then you're going to put your email on the board. If you need to know how to create a board, you need to go back to TikTok and ask how to do a board during the live. And then you need to remind them to go and then to send that email. And you're like, I know that you're going to have to bounce, so make sure that you go to my email right now. You give them your email, and then you also remind them that it's also on your main page. But you're going to always remind them, because remember, they're not just watching you, they're doing all these different things. Some of them might be even driving. And then always remind them at the same time that you have a free gift, and you have to share what the value of the free gift is, because if it's just a free gift, it doesn't matter. And you want to remind them that you're going to show them how to make $1,000 in 24 hours. And then also the video is going to show them how to make $120,000 a year. And then can you explain the compensation? Absolutely not. You don't want to get into the weeds of explaining the compensation. The only thing that you're going to explain about the compensation, because this is a very robust compensation plan. So if you were to break down the compensation, you're going to be lost in the weeds, and you're going to lose everyone during the live. So you don't explain the compensation. I don't understand the bonuses. So you got to go to enough trainings so that you understand. You want to watch the compensation video plan. But it boils down like this. If you want to make $1,000 in 24 hours, the first 3 affiliates is $80 if they get the premium family program. So if they get the 49 and the 37 ID Shield and the family plan, which is the 49, it's about $83 or $93 to get those two combined. If you sell 3 of those, the company is going to give you $80 for the first 3. If you do this within the first 30 days when you first get started, and you go to the training from Legal Shield, and you invite 3 affiliates to do the same thing, and they also purchase no less than the Legal Shield program in ID Shield, then the company is going to give you a $200 bonus, because that's what they do if you do it within 30 days. And then if you go and you tell 2 more people to become associates, the company say, now we're going to give you an additional $100 versus $80. And then because you told 3 people and then you told 2 people, then the company is going to give you another $400, because that's just what they do. And if you do it all, it's called the fast, but you don't say this during the live. This is just for you, Hilda, because it's the fast track start, or the fast start qualification, but it's only available for the first 30 days. If you don't do it within the first 30 days, you're just going to make the commissions versus the bonuses. The bonuses, so people get going. Now, you don't explain how to make $120,000. When I've tested this, I lose people. So you don't want to explain this. You just want to tell them that it is available, and the video is going to explain that. And then you want to explain that what do? We help individuals, families, and business owners. And that's one of the little things that I have that I explain as to the people, and again, I will give you guys all of this in a separate deck. And then you explain that we have leverage, residual, passive income. I don't go into the free tricks because that's just not my thing. I just don't explain that. And then you always remind them, this is remote work in the United States. Is there a specific script to go live? When following up with prospect, do I just tell them how much I need to pay? Absolutely not. You need to find, I have a questionnaire that you're going to get. And that just remind me to give it to you, Hilda, and I'll put it also in our community. But no, you're going to ask him questions. What has you looking, right? If somebody says, hey, I want to take you out and I want to make out with you. Can we do this today? No, you would be like, no, dude, like, buzz off, right? But you want to be interested as to why they want this. And you want to be interested in why they're connecting with you, and interested in what made them stop on your life. Go ahead, Hilda.
No, it's fine. No, I was gonna say just block them. I'm
Yes.
just kidding.
Yes, that's right. Is there a specific script to go live? Yes, everything that I've been saying, because it's not cut and dry, because it's different as you're going through the live. So
Yeah.
you have this and then be reading through the slides depending on the audience. Because if you have an audience, they're like, we just want to see the money. And sometimes you have people like, just show us the money because I gotta go, right? And then sometimes you're gonna have to bounce around. So you're gonna have to know the deck so that you're familiar with the deck. And then if you present it enough times, you're gonna know the deck. I don't understand the Canva presentation. You will do today, because I'm in about 2 minutes, I'm going to go through the presentation so that you have it. Where do I get prospects besides Messenger? I have no idea what you're talking about here. Hilda.
I was looking at my Messenger list, and those are all family and friends. I'm like, I think I'd rather do the lives and post.
Yeah. So you don't go that you want to go get fresh people, and that's where you're going through TikTok. So you don't go on. I mean, unless somebody is there, you're gonna spin your wheels on people that are dead leads versus people that are looking for you. So I would not go to Messenger. I would build totally on TikTok. And you are already super blessed that you know how to go TikTok live. Your business could explode like literally in 2 weeks, 1 week. So your prospect come from your post and your lives, and also sharing, telling people that you're going to give them the Freedom Blueprint on creating connections from your post, on being a caring human, and going, the same. If you follow the blueprint, it's exactly what you need to do on a consistent basis, and you have to do it every day. We're going to get to those questions. And then again, everything that you need to know is right here on the Freedom Blueprint. Remind myself of all the things. Remind myself that all of the times, but not quitting is the option. Okay, got it. I said my star, Okay. Remind me to go back to Tony's questions. I may not be able to get to Tony's questions, but we're gonna go now to what you say during what part of the deck you go through and what part of the deck you don't go through. So everything I told you was explaining behind the scenes about the live. This is the actual process of the live. And then let me just make a copy of it. And then I'll give you the one so that you don't have to guess so much about which ones you do and which ones you don't. So you welcome to the membership that pays. You do say that throughout the live. And I'm waiting for this to catch up with me. And then you go to the next one. Hello, I'm Marie. I'm so and so, and I'm here to show you how to make $1,000 in 24 hours, and how to make 1,000 in 20, and how to make 10K how to make $120,000 in a year. And then if you're gonna have distractions, that make sure that you get my email. And then this is what we're gonna be talking about. You don't say an hour. I'm gonna be talking about these things today. And then if you're looking for remote work, if you're looking for stability, and then you go through these things right here, you remind them that this is spare time, part-time, sometime, and that if you want to be more in control of you're going to cover all of this. These are the qualities that you're looking for, that you're looking for people that are having these things. And you tell them, drop a 1 if you hate working with people, you might as well leave right now. Drop a 10 if so you say it's serious, and you're like, but if you love working with people, then you say this. Is this for does anybody need this? Of course. How many GoFundMe have you seen? And then you talk about the GoFundMes. And then the financial challenges, you talk about the financial challenges that people are having right now. You talk about why people that are working full time, there's 50% of them are doing it just to cover their bills. And then, do people need help? Absolutely, people need help. And then you go through these. And then again, you go through the testimonials. You have pictures of people that you're going to be giving the testimonials, like Camilla that lost her Instagram account. Now remember, you cannot say Instagram. You have to say IG, and you talk about the stories that you want to talk about, and you skip this one. So I'm going to put a red. So whenever you see something like this, it means just skip it, right? So if you see that like that, it just go to the next slide. And if you're thinking, yes, you're gonna go over that. If you're thinking, no problem, you're gonna go over that. If people are looking to more income, yes, you're gonna go over that. You're gonna go over this one. What would you feel if you completely knew that all of your expenses were paid? You're gonna cover that. You're gonna cover this. You're gonna cover that. You're gonna remind people that membership done for your memberships, right? That there's a difference between a membership and done for you memberships. That's the key that we have versus someone who has to reinvent the wheel, like you've done it, right? You can talk about how you had school community and it was so hard. You're going to talk about this, Blockbuster, Netflix, taxes versus Uber. Now we talk, we get into strangers' cars. And you've heard me say that. If you don't remember how I talk about that, then you want to go through my life, and then you want to say that, and you want to say like this company, you're not going to talk about this company because then that's going to get too much. So you're going to skip through that slide. You're going to talk about the things that this company does, and you're going to briefly talk about that. You're going to not talk about this because then you're going to get people on the weeds again, right? So you don't want people to get lost on the weeds. There we go. You want to talk about testimonials. You want to talk about people that the instability of crypto. You want to talk about how this company was created in 1972. 4.5 million lives have already been impacted. Forbes magazine, Yahoo, CNBC, blah, blah, blah. They've all written about this company because this is an affordable way for people to create a business. And then you're not going to talk about this one because nobody cares, right? This is what the video is going to do. You don't need to talk about it. You're not going to talk about, $1 a day to have an attorney. So you're going to skip through that one. You're not going to talk about this one right here because people don't need to know what the services are, because then you're gonna get lost in the weeds, and then people are the old legal shield, they call it 911s. You don't want to be people's rescue. You want to just be the person that is going to teach them how to make extra income online. You want to brief. You don't want to get into the weeds about how we protect businesses because you're looking for people that are looking for this. So you're not going to talk about the memberships and what the membership do. You're going to talk about testimonials, yes, and you're going to figure out what testimonials you want to use. You're not going to talk about the membership that covers the small business owners. You're not going to talk about ID Shield because that's going to give you in the weeds. If you want to work harder and move slower, you talk about this. But I know that you want to focus on making money. Yes, Hilda? Okay, so then you're going to talk about that. You're not going to talk about sex offenders and all of that, so you're going to skip through that. You're not going to talk about ID Shield, so we're going to skip through that. You're going to talk about that. You're not going to talk about this because that's getting in the weeds. You're not going to talk about member perks because I don't prefer the freaking member perks that we have. So I never talk about the member perks, but one day I'm going to change it. You're definitely going to talk about spread the word. Companies are paying people just like I'm a TikTok Shop affiliate. TikTok Shop, just like TikTok Shop is, gives us incentives. This company does too. And you're not going to talk about the weeds because this is just a bunch of weeds. So you're not going to talk about that. You're not going to talk about the weeds of this. You're just going to talk about how to make $1,000 in 24 hours. You're going to talk about average people, right? You're going to talk about Lou's story. You're going to talk about this guy, Rob Hirsch. You're going to talk about my story. You're going to talk about different stories, and especially people that are your people. You're going to learn my story. You're going to learn Mel's story. You're going to learn Cooper's story. You're going to learn people. And this one, you definitely want, this company already has over 300 millionaires. This company already created over 400 six-figure income earners. This company has already paid out over $1 billion. You want to talk about this. Popular memberships. Imagine if Amazon, Netflix, and Costco had a baby. Those companies already have over 200 million, 300 million, 130 million members. Imagine if you were just to have 100 members. What would that do for your family, right? You would be swimming in an ocean as big as that. Now, Amazon Prime, Costco, and Netflix, they didn't offer to give you more extra income, but this membership is willing to do profit sharing with its affiliates. So again, Netflix didn't knock on your door to give you extra income to refer a friend. But even those companies like Costco, like SoFi, they're giving their people money, a one-time deal, but not recurring income. What makes this company so unique is that it gives recurring income. This company already has over 4 million members, and you talk about that. And then you talk about how people can make the income. So you're not going to get in the weeds of this. So let's break this one down. No weeds. And then no weeds about this. And then you're going to talk about how to make $1,000, which we've broken down several times. You're going to reference how to make $120,000, but you're not going to break this down. So I'll create a better slide for this one. I don't talk about the incentives myself. A lot of people do, but I think that gets lost in the weeds. And then you show them, you're not going to talk about this portion, right? So you only focus about what is the cost to start. So I don't talk about how much it costs that. I actually break it down that it costs, let me show you here, that is a one-time fee of $183 to start. That's what I focus on. And then they're going to be, well, how much after that? That's where you're going to watch the video, right? So I don't talk about this slides. I just talk about this one. Because if you explain this, you're going to lose them because they have to see the full presentation for that to make sense. So now you have the choice, and we're not going to talk about this because you're not going to explain. You're not looking for members. You're looking to make money, right? You're going to talk about the stories again. You're definitely going to talk about this. Life insurance, auto insurance, health insurance. People are still becoming millionaires out of that. And they've already oversaturated, but we only 3% with this membership. So do you want to wait, or do you want to go ahead and get started while this is still at the beginning stages? Now, people that do this membership, they feel empowered, protected, blah, 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 blah. People that don't have this, they feel defenseless, insecure, vulnerable, blah, 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 blah. So please, you follow me. This is what I need you to do. You're not going to get them to become an associate. You're going to get them to follow you, to send you an email, the word that they're going to email you. And I'll see you. And then you're going to talk about the next live, what you're going to do and what's going to happen so that they know exactly when to find you again. And then that's the end. How to start the live. We already addressed that. Okay. So that's the fullness of how to go live. And so we do have a little bit of time. So let me go back. Do either one of you have questions before I go to, oh shoot. Hang on 1 second. I give you guys. Hilda, do you have questions?
Mm, no.
Okay, so let me go through the questions because these questions might be applicable to you. How do I use, let me see. Mel, do you have questions? It sounded like you did.
No questions.
How do I use the 2026 Creator Health Rating to take advantage to ensure my lives get more reach? You're just gonna have, there's no secret path to get more reach. You're just going to have to do the reps, just like a soccer player, just like a runner. You're going to have to do the time to be able to get more reach. And then the more that you go live and the more that TikTok can depend on you to go live every single day, or on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whatever days you choose at the exact same time on the exact same days, then TikTok will favor you. But until you show up consistently, TikTok, you're going to have to do the reps. Is it true that the algorithm now prioritizes watch time over total? No, that's not true. You need to go live at least an hour at the bare minimum. At an hour, the algorithm is finally catching on to you if you're a new liver. Otherwise, you want to go an hour and 15 minutes to really to tell TikTok, I'm serious about this. But preferably, you want to plan on 90 minutes every single day. If not, you can do an hour and 15 minutes. Audience and target. What is the best way to geotagging and location labels? That doesn't work right now, and that's always changing. But just focus on delivering good. You're focusing on the wrong thing. You want to focus valuable content. You want to practice what you're going to deliver and attract, and you want to be coming. You want to be following the blueprint so that you can start and following the 5x5, so that you know exactly the people that are going to be attracting. You want to know exactly who your ideal client is by following, by doing a session with me, so that we can find out who your ideal client. Like with Hilda, it's a no-brainer because she's looking for other TikTok Shop affiliates, just like she has been. How do I do cross promote my upcoming lives? You make videos, you promote them on your stories. You tell you go to other people's lives, so that the people that are watching another live and you're being live on other people's lives, they're going to end up on your lives. If you do, it's called priming. So if you go to other people's lives for 30 minutes before you go live, and then you go live, a lot of those people are going to end up in your life. So that's how you do more people. Or you just go and you comment on a bunch of people that are on green at that moment, and then you comment and then you go live. That's how it's called priming. How do I encourage to follow my profile? You tell them to follow your profile. Is in TikTok, it's different. It's not it's interrupting the flow. That you're constantly interrupting the flow. So sometimes if you were to do this on a on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube is they would get so mad at you when you do this, but on TikTok it's expected to do that. How do I structure my story so that it has a cliffhanger so that nobody leaves? That's not going to happen. People on TikTok are coming and going, and you're just going to have to embrace the coming and going, and you're going to have to be grateful that you have thousands of people coming through your live and you have more exposure, because people are not going to sit there the whole time. How do I transition from lighthearted to Q&A sessions with a serious discussion about protecting? You follow everything that I've been talking about. You stay light, you stay refreshed, you take the story, and then you kid around with people. Like, listen, like, I'm a total social introvert, right? You tell stories throughout the life. What is the ideal run of show schedule? No, 90 minutes ideal, an hour and 15 minutes if that's all you can do, or at least an hour. Never 30 minutes. You might as well not do it, because it's not going to be helpful. Engagement. What are the best verbal cues to use to encourage people to share the live without me sounding like a telemarketer? You're not going to be a telemarketer. You're going to be a TikToker creator. That's what we do. That's what is expected of you, to guide people as to what they need to do. Make sure that you follow me. Make sure that you go to my email address. Here is my email address. You're going to guide people through the process, because that's what people expect on TikTok. That is what the platform does. How do I handle situations when the chat is moving too fast? If your chat is moving so fast, then by that time, you're going to have a lot of moderators that are going to help you. If that is your problem, you have a beautiful problem. That's never a big problem. It's
I
like,
wish that was my problem.
right? That is a massive blessing. I've never had somebody that complained that the chat is moving so fast that they can't catch up. That you're gonna have, by that time you're gonna have moderators, but right now all of you who are watching this are new people, so you don't have to worry about having too many people chatting and having moderators. You don't need moderators, you don't need anything special because you're just starting out. How do I stay high energy? You just do. Like if you are at your job.
Take a drink.
Yeah, I don't recommend that, but for Hilda, she does take shots, or she used to take shots.
A
No,
glass of wine.
you're just gonna have to do that. It's like if you were at your job, you're not gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to do this, but I'm here anyways. I mean, I had a girl that actually she went to her job on a Saturday because her boss asked her to, and her boss, who were friends with her, said, "I'm so glad that you came. You probably don't want to be here today, right? Because it's Saturday." And she says, "Yeah, you're right. I don't want to be here because it's Saturday." She got fired. You don't do that. You don't do that. And you want to make sure that you're looking at the camera the entire time. And then how do you stay high energy? It's a choice. It's a choice. How do I handle the dead air? You just do. You pretend that there's you go back to the training that I just did. Beginning. Okay. How do I use a secondary device to keep track of questions without looking distracted? You are going to be focused on the people that are on your live, and you're going to be looking at the phone where you're going live. And then if you are like Hilda, then you're gonna put them side by side so that you can look at both. But most of us just look at our device and we look at those questions on that device. What is the most effective ways to use pinned comment? At this point, you don't need to worry about pinned comments because it's not necessary. Should I use live goal? No, because this is not about going live. This is about you making money, building your email list, and building your know, like, and trust factors. Is there specific ways to use a green screen? You don't want to use a green screen. How do I use Q&A stickers? You're not going to use Q&A stickers. What is the best way to record my live? It's automatic. TikTok does that for you. How do I disclose a business relationship or commercial content? You do a search for how to do that, and then TikTok is going to show you. You just have to make sure that you're looking at the last 90 days examples versus something that is outdated. What is the specific words or phrases for 2026? You're gonna have to do that and do a search and go to people that are doing that you read community guidelines. So there's people that are experts on community guidelines. So you're gonna go to people that are community guidelines and you're gonna ask those questions and then make sure that it's relevant and current about today. And then you're gonna have to do your own diligence and once a month read the community guidelines because you're gonna have to stay up to date. What should I look for in my post lives? I'll get back with you 1 second. What should I look for in my live post analytics to determine exactly which minute of my stream was the most successful? You're not going to have that. You're just going to pay attention. Like, for instance, when I started talking about making $120,000 with 25 people, I lost my entire audience. If I bring someone on live with me, I lose my audience. So you're going to have to pay attention to your audience. Your audience is going to tell you, we like that, we don't like that. Go ahead, Hilda.
No, I was just gonna say, when you're doing your post, I use ChatGPT for a lot of things. So like keywords and everything, I just ask ChatGPT, what keywords can I do for this post?
So
And you use
that's a
that.
great idea. You just have to be careful. Chat
Mhm.
will lie to you a lot. So it's better to, when you're talking about guidelines, you don't want to go to chat because chat is a big fat liar. Big example. Chat told me that it was going to take me 11 hours to get from here to Louisiana. It turns out it's going to be 30 hours versus 11 hours. Chat is a big liar. When it comes to rules and regulations and things that could impact your account, you don't want to depend on chat. But I definitely depend on chat for content and ideas
Yeah,
and everything.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
For like, these questions came from chat because there's totally chat. This is totally chat, but these are the questions that Tony decided to give me. So I'm going over this question. So the next question is moderators. When you are just starting out, you don't need moderators. You need moderators when your audience gets really, really big, like you have hundreds of people. That's when you need a moderator. Right now, you're just starting out, so that's not even something that you have to think about. How do I effectively use a moderator? You don't. What are the biggest mistakes you see professionals make during a live that makes mistakes? Look like an amateur. You're going to look like an amateur. You're going to look like a beginner, and you're going to let people know that you're a beginner, because otherwise, if you're trying to look like a professional, TikTok is not about looking professional. TikTok is all about embracing that you're a beginner, embracing the newness. It's all about embracing that you are a single widow or dad of a girl. Embracing that.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Be yourself, but tell your story, right? Not just be yourself, but also be yourself prepared. You don't need to look like a professional, but you do have to be prepared. You're not going to just be yourself and not prepare yourself. Exactly what Hilda says, but be prepared. Do all the things that we've been talking about for the past 2.5 hours. What is the biggest mistake? Trying to look like a professional. Don't be a professional. Consistency. Is it better to have a 90-day long marathon? That's not a marathon. Live once a week, or so never have a 20-minute daily sprint. You need to have a minimum of 1 hour, preferably an hour and 15 minutes, and you need to have it to where it's scheduled times, whether it's once a week, if you can commit to once a week, preferably every single day of the week. Otherwise, do what you can, but at least 1 hour to 15 minutes to 90 minutes according to the schedule, and then you tell people that that's when you're going to be going live. And let me go back. We have a little bit of extra time, so let me see. I can actually go through. So we went through. Okay, Hilda. Now that I've gone through the deck, do you have questions about the deck?
No.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So you know what to skip through, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
So let me go back and finish. Oh, Cooper's back. I didn't even see him. So we cover the questions. Okay, here we are. And throughout the live, you have to show this, and you have to have it on plastic because it looks better. And then it's not going to look all raggedy, because if you give them something that is all raggedy, they're going to be like, I don't want that. Like, look how dirty it is, right? So you're going to constantly be reminding yourself that what you're doing, what your goals are. You want to paint the vision of why you're doing this, because it doesn't matter how much money you make, because sometimes people that are making too much money is too intimidating and they're not relatable. So people don't want to go with those people. I've lost people I've gained people because I was making less money than other people, and I've lost people because people were like, I don't know that she can, that she's way far away, way more advanced than I am. I want someone that is at my same level. I still remember my first sale. Like, you're gonna tell the stories out, Hilda, about when you went the first time you went live, how nervous you were. You're gonna tell stories. You're gonna drip stories throughout your life about what life used to be before you started doing this. You're constantly gonna tell during your life, this is my email. This is what you're gonna do. And then if this is curiosity marketing, because your ideal clients are going to find you because of how because this is free ads. And we're not going to talk about this one, actually. Be real being yourself takes less time, like Hilda was saying a minute ago. How can this be done? This can be done with as little as 30 minutes a day to 2 hours a day, depending on what your goals and what your dreams are. And the company will work with you as exactly what you need to do, because you're going to have a mentor, a guy, a coach, everything that you need to be successful. And then paint the picture. You want to tell what the problem is, talk to the person, be clear on what the promise is that you're giving, give proof of other stories that have had success, give the path of, like, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go to my email. When you go to my email, you're gonna put the word video. When you put the word video, you're going to get an automated response. Every time you email me, you're going to get an automated response, because I set up to be that way. But once you send me that word, as soon as I get off my live, I'm going to answer to all of you guys in the order that you came in. So you walk them through the path of what you're taking them through, and then you paint the picture. I'm doing this because I was doing TikTok Shop. I do TikTok Shop, but it pays me literally. Sometimes I get $5 for a 4-hour. So you give stories so that people can remember. How do I have stories about Hilda? How do I have stories about Mel? Because I know them. How do I have stories about Cooper? Because I know him. And then you want to put this on autopilot. So 30 minutes to build your content, to build your 3 videos a day, 1 hour for posting your videos, to follow the blueprint, and to and if you're confused, you're going to have a coach, a mentor, a guide. You're going to have a whole team of helping you. And then you always are going to do a call to action, and consistency is going to be the best call to action that you're going to be able to help people with. I was there, and you want to remind people how terrible you were at the beginning. And some people are going to say, you're still terrible. You're going to be like, well, thank you. And then you're going to talk about how this changed your life, if that is the case. To me, that is the case. This is about learn and earn, not learn and learn. A lot of people stay frozen on the learning and learning versus the learning and earning. And this, if you can copy, paste, share, then you can do this. And you keep saying that throughout the life. If you can copy, paste, share, then you can do this. So this is share. Then you can do this. And then you're going to be taught how to leverage ChatGPT and all phases of AI. And you're going to give examples, Hilda, about how you've used it and how other people have used it in your company. You're going to explain that you don't need to be tech savvy, because all you need is an email. You're going to talk about video is king, but at the beginning you don't have to show your face. And then again, you're going to go, and then you're going to have a little deal like this, and you're going to show that step by step. Plug into a proven system. You're going to talk about that all they have to do is to plug into an existing system, that they don't have to reinvent the wheel, and that they're going to be able to make extra income by just simply sharing an LINK, by using the curiosity marketing. I need to come up with a better word, because that doesn't flow out of my mouth very good, and I don't like curiosity. It's really long. You're going to remind them of your email, not domain, because you guys are going to just do a email. So you're going to always be reminding them about your email, for them to go to your email, and then you walk them through how to go to your email. And then you're going to be really sad. You're going to be really sad if you get your email and you don't have any email. So please send me an email, because I'm new. I'm just starting out. I would love to connect with you. So you're going to make sure that you remember that. I just want to take 3 minutes to introduce myself. I just want to take a minute. So throughout your life, you're going to introduce yourself, and you're going to reintroduce yourself. You're going to sound like a broken record. So who the heck I am, you're going to tell the story. You're going to show a picture of whoever it is, the most valuable person. You're going to talk about why you have chosen TikTok as your main platform, and why you're going to teach, they're going to learn through the system why they're going to also use social media. Some people use social media to look for gossip, to look for all these different things. You use social media to monetize and to make more money. And then you're going to talk about other people that are having success. Many people are facing challenges, and what you love about this is that this allows you to confidently know that you're going to be able to have more freedom by just simply doing digital marketing, which makes it easier. We talked about these steps, and then some people are going to have doubts. So step number 1, you're going to learn how to choose the right digital marketing membership, and that's what we help you do. And then the real truth, that you don't need to be great at making content or being techie. You just need to be good at showing up every day. And then where do you start? You just start by sending me an email, following me and sending me an email. It's really simple. And can you do it if you're an introvert? I'm a serious introvert. That's why I do this, because I don't want to go talk to people in real life. And then you explain why, again, don't make up that you're an introvert if you're not an introvert. You need to stay true to who you are. Lots of people have done it. And then you show results of other people who are also introvert that did it, or other people that are famous people, celebrities that are famous, and they're super shy and super introvert. And how everybody when they first started, they were all terrible before they were good. You're going to give the story of people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and people that people can relate to. Make it as if you were talking to a friend. So yes, when you're talking on camera, you're just going to talk to an audience of one. You're not going to talk, hello, everybody. You're going to talk to Jessica, Hilda, Cooper, Mel, and you're going to talk to each person. post relatable content. So the thing that you're going to learn is how to post relatable content, and you're going to have someone helping you do all of that. And you're going to have someone teaching you the 6 P's that is going to go once you get started. They're going to teach you that, and then you're going to give a story again. You're going to connect by telling them how to stay connected with you. Number 3, they're going to also teach you how to automate your business so that this is easy for you. You're also going to find out about the benefits. Once you get started with us, you're going to learn about the benefits of automation. You're going to learn how to get discovered by your ideal clients when you have a coach, a mentor, and a guide, and a team of people that are going to help you how to do all of this. And then step number 5, we're going to show you exactly what you need to do in order to get more clients, start earning, and you're going to learn how to make about $416 each time. And that comes later, but you're still going to talk about that. You're also going to talk about the state of the economy, how the news is going, about the inflation, about the layoffs, and everything else that we talked about. You're going to give an image like this is happening right now. You're going to talk about how you're going to be able to thrive doing this, and how many people are thriving already. And then the main thing is that what this requires is to be disciplined. So you're going to say, I always make good in my promises. So I told you that after this live, I'm going to be answering all of your emails. So as soon as you send me an email, I'm going to answer every single one of you. So if it takes me a while, it's because I'm answering everybody. So just hang in tight, and I'm going to be answering your email. And then you tell them that so that people can feel that, oh my gosh, it's taking a long time because she's answering so many emails. Make sense? You're going to keep getting stories. And then you're going to be like, at this time, you may be wondering what direction that you want to go to. Well, do you want to keep trading time for money? Do you want to continue to not have all the money that you need to take the trips, take the vacations? And you paint the picture of all the reasons for why people are not living their best lives. And then you tell them how to get started. Your first step is to send me an email and to follow me. And you say that over and over and over for 20 minutes. Benefits, creators. The irresistible offer is that they're going to be able to make $1,000 in 24 hours. Also make, Cooper, is that you? Okay, good. You're gonna be able to get the blueprint, and you're also going to be able to make $120,000, and you're gonna be able to get coaching on mindset. You're gonna be able to get coaching from people that are making multiple 6 figures and people that are already millionaires. So to recap, you're going to recap everything about the life, and you're going to do that throughout the life. And then the real value of how to make $1,000 in 24 hours. And so these are some of the remind them to make a great decision. So
are we getting those slides or no?
Yeah, I'm going to give you all of the slides. You're going to make a great decision, because you might be thinking that you're feeling stuck, that this business is not going, that the business that you're doing is not making you enough money. So then this is going to be a good solution for that. Maybe you're exhausted of not being where you want to be. This is going to help you do that. Maybe you want more time with your family. Maybe you want to work less. Maybe you want to be able to call your own shots. You're going to go through these. And obviously there needs to be a change, and that change is this opportunity. And then you're going to go through all of these changes. Maybe you're thinking, I don't have enough time to do this right now. Well, do you have time to keep doing what you're doing? When is things going to change? If nothing changes, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If maybe you feel that you're going to be stuck, having to not know how to make content, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. We have someone that gets paid literally thousands of dollars, and she actually helps us all for free. These are the objections that people are going to mentally have. Maybe you're thinking that, are you going to get support? Absolutely. You're going to get not only coaches, mentors, guidance. You're going to get a whole team of people helping you all throughout. Maybe you're thinking, am I going to get a support? Yeah, look at this community that we're going to be getting. You're going to be getting a community just like this. And people are going to be answering all your questions every single day. And they're going to be encouraging you, supporting you all the way throughout. So you're going to get more than enough support. And all you have to do is raise your hand and say, I need this. Maybe you're thinking, how am I going to, I can't show up live to all the things that these people have. don't worry. They also give us the replays for anything that they're teaching, because a lot of people have full-time, the majority of people have full-time jobs, and you're going to talk about that. So a quick recap. This is what you do. Send me an email, follow me, and then you tell them what you're going to do. When you send me an email, send me the word video. Make sure that says USA, because you're gonna have to remind them. So I have it written so that I don't forget the words that I need them to say. So I'll send it to you guys, because I think I put it somewhere else. But you want to give them the words that they need to send you, so that you are only getting people that are in the United States, because you don't want to end up. So you say, make sure that you send me your name, the state, the city and state that you're in, that you found me on my live, that you want the info, so that you don't think I'm spamming you, and then make sure that you follow me, right? So then you give them the steps, and then you have the email written on the top, and then you're gonna have your email written on the top of your board as well. So people have like 5 different places that they're constantly seeing your email, and then you're also saying it out loud as well. And then the stories, you're gonna give more stories about why people are having success, why you're doing this, and then you're gonna remind them again, go to my email, go to my email, go to my email. And I believe that's the end of it. And I actually did it in record time. So questions, G, Dollar Tree store show must continue. Sorry, kids emergencies need to leave. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Questions, Cooper, Mel?
No question.
Hilda?
You covered a lot.
I covered everything that you guys gave me to cover.
That was great. Thank you.
Thank you. But you feel confident about going live?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, when I get the decks, yeah, I just, I just want to I don't want to keep on repeating the same thing over. If I can do more, if I can talk about my story and talk about, testimonies and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you're gonna follow the deck for, if you want to know what happens behind the scenes, what do you need to know about doing the live, you go through the big deck. You go through the big deck, that is this one, right? This one is gonna give you all the information behind the scenes through the live and everything else. If you want to know what to say during the live, you do this deck. The one that we X'd out the things that you don't need to say. So you'll need to know that in the back of your head, but you don't need to talk in the weeds about that. So this one, you're just gonna go through, and then obviously if your audience is at a space that they're like, well, if you're talking about this, but you have 10 people that they want to see how you make $10,000 or how you make $1,000, you're gonna skip through here and you're gonna go right into, okay, this is how you make $1,000 in 24 hours, and you just simply start doing the one, how to make $1,000, and then you do the red ink.
That's what I was doing in my first live, but then I was stuck.
Yeah, 24 hours, and then for only 183. That's all it takes, and then you just go through that, right? But now you have a whole deck of all the things that you have to do, and then you alternate the colors, and then you just go through this, and then you talk about this over and over. And what it might be that you go through the entire deck and you did it in 5 minutes because there wasn't anybody and you were rushing through, and you go back and you start over again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So last thing is that going live is not where you want to start, right? Hilda has been a pro, just so you know. Hilda has been a pro, and we did this for Hilda and a few others of you that asked me to do this and give you the replay. So some of you have been doing this for years. So this is why I made this. So the rest of you that are just getting your feet wet, you've never been on social media, or you've only done Facebook kind of deal, start with the copy paste share. Start with the baby steps. Get together with me. I'll show you exactly what you need to do. Don't think that you're going to need to go live. You don't want to go live. If you're going to freeze and you're not going to be consistent, it's just going to backfire. And plus, you need to build your account to be able to go live. So Hilda has been going live probably for a year now.
Oh, with TikTok Shop? Yeah, more than a year.
Yeah, so she's a professional because she's been doing it. She's been getting paid by TikTok Shop. So don't try to be a Hilda or a Maria Lupita. Start Hilda started with just making very funky posts, and so did I. So you're gonna start from the beginning, leverage me, and then as you get more advanced, eventually you're gonna be like, heck, the people that are doing lives are making more money and going faster. Can you teach me how to do it? And then you'll go through this, and then I will help you along the way. So with that, Miss Hilda, there you have it. 3 hours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My
I really
pleasure,
appreciate it.
gentlemen. And then I will send you the deck, and then I will send you the replay. This replay, because it's a 3 hour replay, it's going to take a while. So it might take me until Monday or Tuesday or the 1st to get it over to you.
That's fine.
All
Yeah.
right. Bye, everybody.
You guys have a nice weekend.
You too. Stay out of
Bye.
trouble. See you in the
Bye.
live. Bye.